Data validation. As per the name, we are going to validate the data that is being entered onto any cell, maybe a single cell or more than one cell. Say, suppose, let me copy this. It's like kind of repeating all the time. I'll do one thing. Okay, first one says as whole numbers, right? How can I validate? I'll go to data tab. Just beside your data, remove duplicates. You have got this data validation. First one, allow whole numbers. Okay. What is it that you can allow? Settings, validation criteria. You can allow all these things. A whole number, decimal number, list, date, time, text length, or any customized one also. So let's see the first one as whole number. And when I'm saying whole numbers, what is the range that I want to apply for that? Maybe between, non-between, any options could be there. Okay, let's say for now, let's say greater than or equal to 10 is given. Let's say suppose 25. Okay, if let me apply, you will understand what's going really happening. Okay, I just say okay. Now, if I try to enter a value, say 20, it won't allow, because the validation or the criteria or restriction, validation restriction that I've applied over the range of cells is 25 or greater than 25 is accepted. So here two options are being shown. Either you go for a retry. If I go for a retry, I can really modify that. If I say 25, now it's accepted because it very much falls in that range that we have mentioned. We have told 25 and greater than 25. Now next value, if I say 50, it won't say anything. If I give for the next one as 1, again that it will give me. But two options, as I told you, one is retry, like I want to modify whatever I have given, the incorrect value, or else cancel. If I do a cancel, it'll just whatever, like it'll go to the previous state. Before 1, nothing was there, right? So that's what happens with a retry and cancel. But then this range of cells, as in from D5 to D16, the whole range of cells, it will accept whole numbers, that too from 25 to like 25 and more than 25. Say here, purposefully I give something like this as 1.5. It won't accept. Say I try 25.5. That also it won't accept because 25.5 is definitely greater than 25. Like it's very much falling under that criteria. But it is not a whole number. Clear? How I can validate whole numbers? Like anyone tries to enter, I need to give a proper one. Say I'll give an example of this, a real-time example. Now, in general, time to time, every other company will conduct a survey. Okay, it could be like it could be maybe they could conduct a survey for the employees to know if they are satisfied or not. What is it that every other, even during project like maybe the appraisals also at that time, some sort of reviews and some surveys and all are being there. Are you being, is your work being appreciated by your manager? Does he give enough environment for you to grow? So many things are there, right? So, but what survey I am trying to mention is, say suppose we are a particular survey is there and some 3 to 4 questions are being there. For each question, you are not going to give like yes and no or some words and all. You are to give ratings. Say 1 to 5 is the rating. Okay. For each of those questions, you have to give 1 to 5. How can I may restrict people from giving or just entering 1 to 5? By using the data validation, that too, we are just going to allow whole numbers from 1 to 5. Anything apart from whole numbers or anything above 5 or anything below 1, not accepted. Okay. Does this seem logical, what I'm saying? Can I move on? Yes, no? I'll
Yes, ma'am.
imply it as a no, I mean yes only. Okay. Next comes as text length. Now, same logic, the way you're putting it for whole numbers, you can put the restriction over decimal numbers also. Same logic. What are we going to allow? It's a text value. Text value, we cannot say something like greater than, equal to, and all we can say. We can't, there's no possibility of saying that. So option given over here is text length. And text length again, it will like you can use like begins with equal to, of course, they are given as greater than and all, but better to length is given. Na? Length, text length is actually a whole number. Not that the what we are to the column where we are applying that is containing text, all good. But text length is number of characters that we want to enter. That value is a whole number. Na? That's the reason you are greater than, less than, and every other thing. Say I give greater than 3, or let's say we'll take up between. That's more nice. I can give in maybe a 2-letter word. I can give in 3-letter word, 4, 5. Anything apart from this won't be accepted. So minimum 3, minimum 2, and maximum 5. So if I put is, it'll accept. If I just put a, it won't. If I put an, yes. Ocean, yes. Excel, data, text, say 6, what can it be? Spider, it's a 6-letter word. It won't accept. So instead of spider, I can try spy 3. So that's here based on text. What kind of criteria I can apply based on, I mean, onto our text values. Next coming is date. Allow date, definitely. Between, you can have like between, greater than, equal to, and so many of them you can have. Let's say Okay, I'll put it as less than equal to. There is something I'll do. And instead of the like less than equal to end, instead of end date, I'm going to put it as equal to today. And just say okay. If I give 1st of January 2025, it will accept. Today's date also it will accept. If I try tomorrow's date, it won't. Now for this example, I can for this date one, I can give you an example like when you join the company, your details get uploaded onto the database, right? Their database. Now, say suppose you're joining today. Maybe they are too fast track, the company operations are too fast track. They are going to have all your, everything joining formalities, every other stuff, like even the welcome message, all of whatever the procedures are there, everything is going to get done. Even the database, it gets updated with today's date. Okay, it has to be today's date only, date of joining, all good. But say the person will, the database it's getting updated after maybe 1 month of your joining. 1 month of joining, he cannot put today's date, like after 1 month means 4th of September, then October. He cannot put a date equal to that same date, right? That value has to be always less than the today's date. Okay, here I gave it as less than equal to today, na? I can just alter it to just less than. I can do that. I'll pick up as less than. So even if we are trying this one, let me try this again. It won't allow. Same kind of logic you can apply for the exit dates also. Clear? Your text, whole numbers, text, whole numbers as in numbers, text, and then your dates. Any questions? Okay, I'll move on. Next comes list. What is a list? I'll select this. Okay, as of now, something is there. Let me remove that first. Allow list. Now, allow list, you are not definitely, it's like a customized list. Say, for example, you are given a to-do list in a Excel format to you for your updation on a daily basis, or based on whenever the task given to you are completed, you're just going to update that to-do list. Whenever it will get updated, you are going to, like, if it's been done, you will say yes. If it's not done, you will say no. Or maybe instead of a blunt yes and no, you might have some status like in progress, or maybe completed, right? Or maybe not yet started, something like that. Those status and all will be there, no? How can you, it will be in sort of a drop down list that you would have seen. I can achieve the same thing using, that same thing has to be done using the data validation list. Now see, in fact, each of these cells where that list has been applied, the validation list has been applied, you will see these three. People are supposed to select from those three only. Okay, one thing I guess, 1 minute. And this drop down, how does it appear if you're thinking means there is an option over here called in cell drop down. Due to that reason that this box is actually checked in a checked mode. Due to that checked mode only, we are seeing the drop down over there. Okay, I can actually remove these. Array. See. Yes, I can do that. Okay. So this is one way. Now, if the list is small, I can write it manually. But what if the list is big? What will you do? In those cases, there's a different option of doing it. Like, um, I have an example over there. I can show you that. Wait. Let's say we have um, a big list. Not, I won't say a completely big list. Okay, some here some 2 to 3. Okay, maybe some 5, 6, and all. Example, it's already there. I'll show you that. This is my list. I can do the same. I can create a drop down list. I'll select the whole column, data validation, allow list. Okay, that in cell drop down is very much there. But what is this source? How am I going to mention? I mean, okay, you might tell me just 5 of them. I can type it manually. All good. But what will you do if it's your 100 names are there? Okay, some 100. The list is having 100 values. How will you do? You can't type it whole of it, right? Just select the data over here. The range of cells where the list is being maintained, select that. It's going to appear over here. K5, is it 5? No, K6 to K10. You may choose that. Clear? I can do either ways. If the list is really very small, like something like yes, no, or the status like this in progress, completed, not status, not started, like not started and all. Something like that is a very smaller list which you can handle manually. Then you may just type it down in there in that particular dialog box itself. You can do that. Else you have an option of like maintain, if a list, the list is huge, maintain it anywhere in the worksheet. That may, it could be in the same worksheet where the drop down is being created, or it could be in any other sheet also. That's also possible. Okay. If it's in any other sheet, what will you do? You will have to come here, the place where you are going to mention this particular one. Na? You, after you come here, say if I, 1 minute. I'll come to this sheet and this selected. That's it. No other thing. No big deal. It's going to react the same way. No changes. All good? Now, we had been setting up validation criteria for like 4 examples I've shown you, 4 to 5 examples I've shown you. But okay, the person who is going to set up the criteria, he knows what are those, what is the range of cells should, I mean, what is the valid value very much applicable for that range, or what is the invalid value. But the other person who has like, say I am the person who has set up the criteria, means I will know what it is. But you may not know, right? Okay, one way is there, like you may select that range, you may go to the data validation. If you know things prior hand, then yes, you will go to the data validation tab and just see what is the criteria. Everyone won't have the patience to do it, and everyone might not have a good knowledge of Excel. Anything could be possible. So for those people, or in general, if I have a notification message or an information message, the moment the people are selecting that range of cells or any cell within that range, or if at all they are giving wrong values, invalid values, there should be a more customized error message popping up saying what is the valid value. Do you think that should be done, or just a plain whatever the data that you are mentioning, it's not satisfying the validation criteria? That blunt message is enough. That blunt error message is enough. What do you think is good? Customized one, which is going to tell me what is the valid data, or just a generic message is fine. Yes, tell me. Come on, speak up. I'm asking you a question. First of all, did you all understand the question? Am I even audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, I am audible. What is the question that I asked? Did you understand? What would you like? Would you like a generic message, or you would like a customized message which says what is the invalid and valid values? What is it that you would like?
Customized, ma'am.
Why, ma? Generic is not enough for you?
Yes, ma'am. It will be.
Yes is for what? Yes is for generic, or yes is for the customized?
Generic also should be fine. I think, ma'am.
How is it that both are fine, Zubeda? If you keep on retrying a good number of times, won't you get frustrated after a point of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Won't you love to see or love to know what is the valid and invalid, rather than just saying it is the value entered is not satisfying the criteria? Huh?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes.
Speak up. I'm not going to do anything. Speak up.
Yes,
Everyone is
ma'am.
so quiet. Okay. Now, in order to have a customized error message, there are 3 options over here. Okay, let's see them. I'll select this any of the range. I'll go to the data validation. Okay, maybe. Okay, let me set up. Okay, once again, let me do that. maybe between 10 and 100. Okay, that's the settings, all good. But what about the error alert? Error alert, if you see, show error alert after invalid data is entered. There are three styles. This is the default one, and in fact, the best one of all. Stop, warning, and information. Based on these three styles, the options that will be displayed, it will keep on changing. Okay, here I'll put the title as error message. Okay, now if I come and just mention, say, suppose I give 9, please enter whole numbers between 10 and 100, both inclusive. Is this better?
Yes, ma'am.
If I go for a retry, at least I'll know what's the valid values. Okay. This is one style, one error style, which is stop. That's default. Why default? I'll 1 minute. I'll show you one more example. You will understand. Say suppose we give 10 and 100. We'll give 111. Now you are seeing two options. Okay, help will be there by default for all the error styles. Let's not concentrate on that. Main part is your retry and cancel. It's for error style stop. You've got your retry and cancel. Kindly mute your mic. My voice is echoing. Okay, retry. It's the sense why this retry and cancel is given is stop error style won't allow invalid values to be entered. Either you cancel, which is like going back, it is like it's not going to, I mean, whatever value you had entered, it's going to get deleted, or else that's only one option. Other option is you have to retry, like you have to keep on retrying, or you have to, in other words, you have to give a valid data. There is no other option for you. Either you give a valid data or you don't enter at all. Okay, that's your stop error style. Second type, I'm going to keep the error message same. Warning. It's a triangle, yellow triangle with exclamation mark. Now if I enter a wrong one. Okay, same message, but options are different. It says continue, like do you want to continue? Because continue, after continue, it's a question mark. If I say yes, that invalid value will be accepted. In case if the data that anyone is entering is not of so much relevance, you can use the information. Okay, let me again try. Okay, either you continue means the Excel is going to accept the invalid data. If I say no, I do have an option of retrying it. Cancel, you people have already seen. Like it's just going to erase that value. Okay. So best option till now is your stop, because it won't allow Excel or Excel with that error message, with the stop error style, it won't accept invalid data. But with the warning, is just telling you, see, what you have entered is wrong, or what you have entered is invalid. Do you want to continue with invalid? So do you want Excel to really accept that? Invalid. If I say yes, it will accept. If I say no, it gives you an option for modification or editing. Cancel is just going to delete it. What's the third one? information. It's just going to inform us, nothing else. It's of least prior, like a what to say. If the data that anyone is entering was of least priority, no, I mean, kind of a worthless data somebody is going to enter means. See, it will just say it's for information. That see what I've entered is like invalid, or the please enter the whole value. So it's going to tell me. If I just say okay, it will be very quiet and just accept.
And can we
So
modify this to be like go if we give
I
okay
can
also
modify,
can we
ma.
modify?
I can
Okay,
modify, no issues.
okay, okay, ma'am.
So of the three styles, stop, warning, and information, best is stop. And that's by default. Excel is very good. It understands people's difficulties in work. It gives things, many of the things as default. Okay, now this is a case like I set up an error message, but error message is going to pop up only after entering a value. Whether invalid or valid, that's different part. Only when you enter invalid value, it's going to pop up a error message. What if I am able to give a information message even before any person enters a value? What can I do that? I mean, how can I do that? I have to come to that input message. See, show input message when the cell is selected. Okay, I'll just say info message. You won't write in real time, you won't write something like this just for this purpose only I'm writing. See, the moment we are selecting that particular cell, you are really seeing that. Okay, so the person might not even go to that error message part area itself. He will see the information message, he will enter the proper value automatically. Any questions for me? Shall I move on? Purposefully I'm entering some invalid value to show you something. Can I move on? Okay, in here, data validation part, like how you're going to set up the criteria for each type of data types, or maybe a customized list you're going to create, all of this done. How to set up an input message I've shown you, and how to set up the error alert, like depending upon the styles, how things are going to get going. I've shown you that. Okay. Now, there is something called second option which says a circle invalid data. The moment I click on it, in that whole sheet, wherever the data validation rules have been applied, wherever Excel finds invalid data, it's just going to circle it. Just like, yeah, kind of really helping us. It's just highlighting the invalid value so that it just stands out and I'm able to understand, okay, these are the invalid values. Because the person might have any, the person who is setting up the criteria, validation criteria, he or she might have kept the error style as either a warning or a information. They could have done that. So in those cases, just to highlight what's your invalid data, I could use the second option, which is circle invalid data. Now, if you want to get rid of the circle, there are two ways. First is just come over here, clear validation circle. It's something like you're not bothered, that's not, even if it's invalid data, you're not bothered. Chalega, no problem. In case, if you are really wanting to get rid of it in true sense, that you want to convert this invalid to a valid, Just type in the proper value. That circle will be going off. All okay? Okay, just give me a minute. Any questions here? Okay, you have seen something called drop down list already now. You can, out of that knowledge, you can build something called your dependent drop down list. It will be like creating more than one list, like more than one drop down list. First list will be an independent one. Rest of them, like say if there are two means, first will be independent, second will be dependent on the first. So we are going to see such an example. And the main prerequisite for a dependent drop down list is nothing but name range. Name range has already been done. You can see all four of them. I had done that using create from selection, either individual ones or one shot go. Whichever is easy for you, you can try it out. Okay. And yes, obviously scope is workbook. So if I either of any of the options, if I select, it's going to give me that. Just going to highlight it. What is it over here is all the country names are given. And below that is your either the state name or county name or province name. Okay, because in India we have state and your like state, country, state, district, and so on. We don't have any concept called country. Province is there. Country, I mean, sorry, county is not there. But in US and all, we have something called county. So things are a bit different. Never mind. Just okay, let's just put it on a generic level. These are locations for each and every country. I'm going to build a dependent drop down list. How? First list is the country one, which is like these four only. You can see only four of them. If I select India over in the country list, in the city list, I will see all the cities related to India. Now, if I change the country list from maybe I select Malaysia, the cities will show me related to Malaysia. How to create this? Your countries list is a independent one, but city list is dependent on country because whatever value country from the drop down list I'm selecting here, the city list is being shown appropriately. Like just city list is just corresponding to my country or selected country. How can I do that? I'll just show you here. Okay, first one, I'll go to data validation, and I'm going to allow list. Where is my list? I'll go to come to source. I'll just select these four only. So your C8 to F8, I get these four of them. I have to create a second list, but that list is going to be dependent on this. How to create one? Basic list only will do, but there's small twist over there. I'll select list over here, allow list. Source will be equal to indirect, within brackets, the cell which has got the country, or the cell reference which has got the country list, which is in our case is K12. Indirect is just going to point me to a specific cell reference. Okay, that's what is going to do me. As in to say what? If you're, the country list is all that name range, right? The names of that ranges, na? So as per the name range is going to change, the list of the cities is going to change correspondingly. That's what the indirect also does. Indirect is just going to point to the initial list, or to the independent list over here. Source currently evaluates to an error. Do you want to continue? Why does it say like this is the country list, as now it's not, we have not selected anyone. That's the reason it gives you. You can just say okay, no issues. You have to just select one particular country here. In cities, automatically you will see. If I change the country maybe to China here, I'll see the China's corresponding cities. So dependent drop-down list you can create using indirect function. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want me to repeat? Anything to be repeated? Are all okay? Okay. I am assuming things are okay. You're able to understand. You will be able to try it on your own as well. Of course, seeing the recording. Now, based on this dependent drop-down list, I've got an assignment for you all. Yeah, I know few of the assignments. I just need to check it off. I'll do that, okay? I've been engaged in some work of late, so that's why. Okay, you have got your dependent drop-down list assignment here. You're seeing in front screen. I'll show you that. Okay, this is an order form, as in, let it open. Order form from a Kevin Cookie company, imaginary company. You have got like type, item type, and additional. First one, see, first of all, list shows here, 5 lists are there. Okay, give the start off with a name range, like this cookie and drink will get the name as item. This whole list as cookie, this list as drink, this one as coffee, and the last 3 as your fruit smoothie. After you have done with the name ranges, come over here, or just 1 second. First one says as item. So I can select either cookie or drink from here, because how to really do that? It's nothing but your drop down list, basic drop down list. That this is the first list that you're going to create. And that link, I mean that data validation list and in source will be nothing but these two values, your cookie and drink. Here's the first one. Then second one is your type. Type is based on drink. It will be like, say, if person selects cookie, it will he have that second list has to display all of this. But if the person selects drink, it has to select, I mean, it has to display all four of this. So basically, the second drop down list is dependent on the first one. Okay, which you have to achieve using that indirect. Okay, we are going to like a source will be indirect to this particular one, A7. That's the first draw, like this is your first list, first drop down list, like first independent drop down list. Second one is dependent on the first one. Okay, it doesn't end over here. You're supposed to go, you're going to create a third list. But third list, there is a small twist as in, now, if in the type, person has, if it is a, okay, the third list, additional, it will open up only in case for drink. As in to say, if a person has selected cookie means first one, this is cookie. Cookie means either of these only it has to be there. Say suppose I select a shortbread. This I am writing manually. This should be done using drop down list. Okay, additional would be nothing. Because none of these cookie, whatever the list is there, it's not as a name range over here. Okay, so additional list, although it will be indirect on the second one, it won't open up. Even though it's a drop down list, it won't open up. It won't expand. But if this item is a drink, person can select any of this, right? In the type, he can select any four of this. Say he selects plain milk or chocolate milk. Okay, say if here he is going to select plain milk. Even in case of plain milk or chocolate milk, this third list won't open up. Because plain milk or chocolate milk, no name ranges are available. But for coffee and fruit smoothie, like in the drink option, if this is drink, person has selected coffee. Okay. Third list, the additional one over here, it will expand. For coffee, it will show up this three as the list. Same way, if the person has selected smoothie, it will show either of these three lists. So the third list which tells me as additional, it will open up or it will expand only in case of drink, that too coffee and fruit smoothie. None of the other time, like if a person has cookie means, if you have selected cookie means, definitely the third list won't expand. If the person has selected drink and plain milk and chocolate milk, the second list, either of the first two he is going to select means, these two, the third list won't open up. Third list will open up only if it's drink and either coffee or fruit smoothie. So this is an independent one. This is a dependent one. But this second dependent one is dependent on this. Like this type is dependent on item. Additional is dependent on type.
Yeah.